Welcome back. You're watching Nation Tonight. A bizarre and brazen drive of Delhi. Picking up overaged vehicles has irked and exasperated Delhiites. And that is because the vehicles were towed away by authorities from public spaces and also gated societies and sent to scrapyards without notice. The Delhi High Court has wrapped the Delhi Transport Department, saying this is not dictatorship and what officials did was completely illegal. Now, the question is, when will the Delhi government officials be held accountable and penalized? When will any action be taken against them for breach of trust? And we here at Mirror Now demand action against the Delhi Babus for not paying heed to the citizens' pleas and carrying on with the illegal drive. The Delhi High Court has asked Delhi Babus to release vehicles seized in the last 3 months on the condition that the owners will either permanently park them in private spaces or remove them from the city limits. It also busted the myths around the NGT order. It said the 2015 order clearly says that the overaged vehicles could be towed and challaned in accordance with the law. Hear from those who had their vehicles picked up and scrapped without any notice given. Hear their plight. Hear how they were abandoned. Hear how they were looted.
First of all, Mr. Sunny, he is the victim whose car was towed. सर, सबसे पहला सवाल है, क्या आपकी गाड़ी कौन सी थी और क्या आपको लगता है कि जिस तरह से ये पूरा रवैया प्रशासन का रहा है, क्या प्रशासन के जो अधिकारी हैं उनके खिलाफ भी एक्शन लिया जाना चाहिए? बिल्कुल मैम, मेरे साथ एक्चुअल में क्या हुआ कि मेरी मर्सिडीज बेंज गाड़ी थी जो पिछले साल बीते 22 अक्टूबर को मेरे घर के बाहर से उठा ली गई और मुझे डेन आने के बाद ऑफिस से पता लगा कि कुछ लोग आए थे बदमाश कैटेगरी के और वो आपकी गाड़ी जबरन टो करके ले गए। मैं कह की तो मेरे पास पड़ी है घर में और मदर अकेली थी पीछे घर पे, तो कहते हैं कि भैया आपके घर के शीशे वीशे सब तोड़ देंगे गाड़ी के अगर चाबी नहीं दी तो। मैं कहा चाबी तो मेरी गाड़ी में ही पड़ी थी, अगर ऐसी कोई बात थी कौन थे? तो मैंने डैन 112 नंबर पे कॉल करी, पुलिस आई तो पुलिस ने मेरी FIR नॉर्मली एक पेपर पे लिख कर वो चले गए। 2-3 दिन बाद कोई एक्शन नहीं लिया गया तो मैंने लिखित कंप्लेंट करी तो मुझे एक स्क्रैप डीलर का कॉल आता है कि भाई तेरे को आना पड़ेगा यहाँ आके इतने पैसे ले जाओ और ये वो वगैरह वगैरह। मैं कहा सर आप कौन हो और ऐसे कैसे मेरी गाड़ी लेकर गए? बस डैड ने उठे। उसके बाद आज तक मुझे नहीं पता लगा मेरी गाड़ी कहाँ है, कौन लेके गया है। मेरे पास कोई नोटिस नहीं, कुछ नहीं, कोई अपडेट नहीं। मैं सब जगह हो आया हूँ। आपकी गाड़ी तो पिछले साल जा चुकी है, ऑर्डर ये अभी आया है, आपको क्या लग रहा है कि ये ऑर्डर पहले से था क्योंकि NOC तो पहले भी मिल सकती थी ले जाने के लिए, या ऑर्डर थोड़ा जब अब आ रहा है तो अब कंपनसेशन वगैरह मिलना चाहिए लोगों को? मैम कंपनसेशन तो तब मिलना चाहिए ना जब मुझे ये एग्जैक्ट पता लगे कि मेरी गाड़ी उठा के कौन। अच्छा, तो आपको अभी तक कंपनसेशन भी नहीं मिला? कुछ भी नहीं मैम, कुछ लाइक 6-7 महीने तो हो गए ना, मुझे सीजर नोटिस मिला है ना कुछ, 10 महीने हो गए मैम, कोई अपडेट ही नहीं है मेरे पास। दिल्ली पुलिस से कोई अपडेट नहीं आई मुझे, सिर्फ इतना आया कि एक स्क्रैप डीलर है कोई यश अरोड़ा करके, वो लेकर गए हैं। वो कहते हैं आप किसी भी अधिकारी के पास चले जाएं, आपकी कोई कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर। क्या मतलब इसका अधिकारी और क्या साठगांठ है? आई थिंक क्योंकि 10 महीने से अब तक मेरी कंप्लेंट नहीं रजिस्टर करी गई और मुझे डैन ओके ये बताया नहीं गया कि मेरा एक्चुअल व्हीकल है कहाँ।
सर, आपकी गाड़ी उठा ली गई थी इस ऑर्डर के चलते, अब हाई कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर पास किया है कि ये वापस मिलेगा, तो व्हीकल्स वापस मिलेंगे, तो आपका उस पर क्या कहना है?
मैम अच्छा किया उन्होंने, पहले तो हमने बहुत चक्कर काटे थे इनके यहाँ पे अपना डिपार्टमेंट में जाके, उन्होंने हमें बहुत पहले तो घुमाया था, फिर आया था, बहुत घुमाते रहे फिर, लेकिन ये थोड़ा चैनल के थ्रू हमें थोड़ा बेनिफिट मिला है, तो इसने अच्छा किया है। इन्हीं के थ्रू हमारे को थोड़ा सा ये बेनिफिट ज़्यादा अच्छा मिला है कि चैनल के थ्रू ही ये हमारे जो इंटरव्यू बताते रहते थे, हम बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान हो रहे थे, जो उठा के ले गए थे बगैर बताए ही लेके उठा के चले गए थे, तो हमने बहुत इन्होंने हमें घुमाया था, तो ये बहुत अच्छा इन्होंने करा है कि हम इसका आदर करते हैं।
तो सर अब आप क्या चाह रहे हैं कि अब आपका व्हीकल वापस मिल जाए, और क्या आप चाहते हैं कि कोई एक्शंस लिए जाएं उनके खिलाफ जो कि लेके चले गए थे व्हीकल्स को, और कब तक वापस आप सोच रहे हैं कि आपको मिल जाना चाहिए?
नहीं मैम, वो ठीक है मैम, गवर्नमेंट अपनी तरफ ये ठीक है, बाकी हम अपना वो करेंगे, जो अपना उन्होंने बोला है हमें, हम उसको फॉलो करेंगे, जो उन्होंने बोला है हमारे को।
All right, let me take this across to my guests this evening. I'm joined by Mr. G.D. Singla, practicing chartered accountant, and Anurag Saxena, who's one of the petitioners in the case and an automobile engineer. Thank you, gentlemen, for talking with Mirror now. First of all, Anurag Saxena, to you, you are one of the petitioners. With the Delhi High Court order coming in and saying that the move has been illegal and this is dictatorship, what do you make of it? And, what do you now demand from those babus who had implemented this action on ground, taking away people's vehicles without any prior notice and an illegal way?
My contention is very simple, which has been there from day one. The NGT and the SC order never talked about such kind of lifting or bizarre dacoity. There was no notice given. The biggest thing which you will be surprised to understand is the rate of a vehicle was given as 7650, 7,650. When the person asked, I have a similar car, he called up the scrapping agency. They said that the price is 34,500. And when it came to the Mayapuri market, the same price was quoted as 39,000 rupees. Now, can you imagine 20% of the rate which they are giving? Where is the rest of the money going? These officials ought to be hung up because such a thing never happens in our country. There has to be a strict action against these people, primarily for distorting the orders of the NGT, the scrapping policy, and the other things which were there. 2018 order and 2021 order, if you compare both the orders, they are totally drastically deviating from what the NGT had said or what the Honorable Supreme Court had said, that the cars will not be allowed to run. The 2018 order of the Supreme Court doesn't talk about all these things, but it talks about a lot many other things. This is the basic crux of the matter. As far as your contention is concerned, that the officials should be penalized. Suspension will not have anything because they will be suspended. Day one, day two, they will be shifted to some other department. Where is the problem? The compensation need to be taken down from those 5 or 6 scrapping agencies who have lifted the cars. The babus, you'll be surprised. There was a gentleman who was on your show and he happens to be a known person to me also. How can officials take care of a person from the scrapping agency in their own cars? Blasphemy. This is what is ridiculous, which has been highlighted on your channel n number of times, that these people, these particular men in uniform, are carrying civilians who are supposed to be from the scrapping agency. So this is the unholy nexus. For 8 months, this gentleman on the show who came just now, Sunny, he said his car has disappeared from 8 months. I'm sure it will be in some other country in the same perfectly all right condition because they have taken the keys. Being an engineer, I can say with a guarantee that such cars like Mercedes or even this Honda CRV, which you're showing right now, require special keys to start. Unless and until those keys match with the system, they cannot run. So, and the way they are taking it, it is like slaughterhouse, worse than a slaughterhouse. So these officials ought to be penalized by the honorable court. The court has not, the judgment has not come in. We haven't read the judgment.
Okay.
Till such time the judgment comes out, we cannot say with clarity what exactly is going to happen. But whatever is there, the ground reality is such that the NGT order and the Supreme Court order never talked about this. They said that the cars will not be allowed to run on Delhi streets. How have these officials, how have these ministers circumvented the entire law and changed it to that the cars will be impounded? You cannot impound. There is no rule which says against the Motor Vehicle Act,
Back in 2014-15, when the NGT had given this order, indeed, there was no provision. Yes, there was no provision where they said, there was no statement on whether these end-of-the-life vehicles, how they will be treated and how they will be dealt with. There was only an order on the fact that they will not ply on the roads of Delhi NCR. But GD Singla, coming to you, your vehicle was lifted in February this year, and I believe no payment has been received by you so far. Share with us what you went through.
Yes, very correct. I have not received any payment from the scrapping authorities or even not any communication in this regard. It happened on in February 27th of February this year. They took my car forcibly without allowing me to show them my papers, which were NOC was okay. The fitness certificate was there. Transfer papers to Punjab were there. And everything was in order. And vehicle was in gated security of our personal property, our society property. So as the gentleman earlier talking was rightly said that there was no such order of the NGT or Supreme Court or any other authority to take away the cars or vehicles from the gated societies or the personal property. They were saying plying on the road or parked in the public places. This they misused and they distorted the fact, and even the NGT order and Supreme Court order, they seized private property of citizens without mandate. So it is a clear-cut mafia and clear-cut forgery, you can say fraud or mistrust. All the allegations are will stand scrutiny of the court when these are tried in the court. But these people has a nexus with the higher authorities, even the netas or the MCD or the transport department. You see, when we go to meet Mr. Shish Kundra or this special commissioner transport, they behave very rudely. They don't listen to you. They say, go wherever you want to go. You are trying your best. We are trying our best. Simple question is this, that they are not hauled up. Till they are not hauled up, they will not change their way. They will not amend their way. And still we have to see the judgment of the High Court also, what it says actually. Only after seeing and analyzing the whole
yes, of course,
judgment.
This is just one of the several harrowing experiences that we have heard about or seen around us in these past few months. But quickly, before I wrap this up, Anurag Saxena, what do petitioners like you now demand? We already have an NGT order where they have a 10 and 15-year category for petrol and diesel vehicles, and all of that is there. But do you think this could be, changed to the emissions being restricted and the emissions being monitored instead of judging vehicles on just their age? And what else do you demand from the court now?
Our demands are very simple, that, the vehicles which are there, which have a particular brand of Bharat emission norms of Bharat Stage 4 and Bharat Stage 6, even Bharat Stage 3 vehicles which are at the end of life for 2 years, they should be allowed to run till end of their life. After that, you have a standard rule across the country where such cars of conforming to Bharat Stage 1 and Bharat Stage 2 should be banned permanently, irrespective of the fact whether the density of the population is there or not. And if they have to be restored, they should be done which we have done for vintage cars. That is the basic issue which we are trying to focus on. The Supreme Court ought to rise up to the occasion, give a proper judgment, which is all India basis and not just for Delhi NCR. People in Delhi NCR are no special category of people, which we have already reiterated. This has to be done on a pan-India basis, and people like these who are suffering, those people should be taken to task and given memos, if possible, suspension orders, and the unholy nexus between the ministers of the government, which are there of the state government, should be penalized left, right, and center. I'll quote my grandfather, who's no more now. Way back when I was a kid, he had said one thing: tomorrow, if the Prime Minister of the country says you'll be slapped 3 times, people will say, thank God it is 3 times, it is not 4 times. So the resilience amongst all of us has to come up to that occasion. We have to rise to the occasion and fight for this, that, this is a private property. We are not polluting. What we said in the Honorable Supreme Court, the agents of pollution are not automotive pollution. Automotive pollution constitutes just 5% of the entire pollution. Check any website. You have norms, you have
action against those who have been doing this on ground and putting citizens through a very, very tough time. Action against those. Clarity on this order, and perhaps a better order, if you really want to control pollution on ground, if at all that helps. But clarity on that, and of course, action against these officers and these babus who are giving such orders and implementing them without any court order. But I'm going to wrap it up. And of course, this also comes amid the climate change impact that we are seeing. If we really want to do something about it, then there should be substantial action, and not just, such actions that perhaps are not even contributing to reduction in pollution. But GD Singla and Anurag Saxena, thank you very much for speaking with Mirror Now and sharing your concerns and understanding of the issue. Thank you very much.
Days after we exposed the high-handedness of the Delhi Transport Department,
Cars are being